When you drive, you can just hop in the car and go. You don't have to prepare or worry about a layover. The only plan you need is a plan to eventually get where you're going. When you catch a flight, it requires planning, timeliness, and intention. It's way more structured than a random road trip. Just like airports and planes, the stock market also has some structure to it. It isn't just a bunch of random movements and chaos as many believe. The stock market is built on trends, patterns, supply and demand, support and resistance, buyers and sellers. There are 4 phases to every financial market, just like there are 4 phases to every flight. The boarding phase, the takeoff, the high altitude phase, and the landing. The boarding phase is where the journey begins. In trading, this is the phase where you have to arrive early and grab your seat. If you don't know how to look at the chart and see where a stock is in the boarding phase, you will likely find yourself getting left behind when the stock shoots up, or you may even find yourself chasing after the plane, trying to catch a flight that's already in the air. To avoid this, we study the charts, we analyze trends, set up our strategy, and most importantly, identify flights that have not taken off yet. I want you to think of your boarding pass as your trading plan. Your trading plan should tell you when and where to enter your trade, and it should clearly identify your exit or destination. If we look at the chart, you'll see that this location of the candles show us when a stock is in the boarding phase. You can tell by how all of the candles are lined up, waiting to take flight. Think of your checked bags as your risk management strategy. You manage your risk by not bringing too much luggage on the plane. You have to be mindful of the size of your trade. Now, think of your stop loss as your parachute. Before takeoff, make sure you know where it is and how to use it in case you need to eject yourself from the trade before a crash. If you skip these parts, you won't know exactly when to board a plane. And even if you do know when to board the plane, you won't know where it's headed or how to save yourself if anything goes wrong. Stage 2, the takeoff. This is where the action starts, and I want you to think of this as the moment your stock starts to move towards profit. The plane speeds down the runway, it shakes a little, and bam, you're airborne. But it's not smooth sailing just yet. There's turbulence, there's volatility, and the market will test your heart. Takeoff is when you need to stay calm and stick to your plan. This is where the true market structure shows its power. You need to know if the stock is breaking through resistance or if it's just a fake out. Understanding support and resistance is key during this phase. It's like knowing when to fasten your seatbelt during turbulence. Some stocks will take off smoothly. Others will have sudden drops and bounces. The difference between a successful flight and a crash is preparation and staying calm under pressure. Remember, not every takeoff is smooth, but as long as you've done your research, you'll know when to hold tight and you'll know when to make your move. Phase 3, high altitude. All right, we're cruising at high altitude now, the fun part. This is when your stock is flying high. You're in profit, things are looking good, and you're just chilling in your seat, watching your portfolio grow. But here's the problem. When you're up this high, you've got to watch out for things like altitude sickness. In this case, market correction. This is the stage where you might start thinking, hey, this is easy. I got this. But don't get complacent. Just like on a flight, when you're cruising at high altitude, the market can shift on a dime. A small change in conditions can turn a smooth ride into a bumpy descent. Market structure at high altitude means understanding whether you're in a trend that's strong or whether you're at the top of an overbought zone. You've got to have an exit strategy, and you've got to know when to take profits before the plane starts its descent. High altitude is where you see the real power of market structure, the trends, the value, the market makers, all creating a pattern that tells you where the market is heading. It's all about timing your exit so you don't get caught in a sudden dip. Finally, we've got the landing phase. This is when the plane starts to descend and the market's going through its final push. This is where you decide whether to take profits, exit positions, or maybe re-enter after a correction. Landing is tricky. It's all about the timing. Too early and you miss profits. Too late and you risk a crash. The market structure at this stage is critical. You need to read the signs. Are we in a reversal? Is a new trend starting? Just like a pilot, you have to prepare for a safe landing. And guess what? Sometimes landing is rough. The market is going to throw some volatility at you. But if you've been paying attention to the structure, the cycles, the support levels, the value, you can exit the market like a pro with profits in hand. So here's the takeaway. The stock market is a journey, and if you understand its structure, you can make it from takeoff to landing without losing your cool. Remember, every phase from boarding to landing is a reflection of the bigger market structure, and knowing how to read the signs in each phase is what separates the predators from the prey. I get it. Understanding the market structure is like learning to read the weather before flight. It's not always easy, and it takes time to get the hang of it. But once you do, you'll be able to navigate every market condition with confidence. So here's my challenge for you. Before you place your next trade, ask yourself, what phase of the market is this stock in? Is it a smooth takeoff, or are we in a high altitude zone waiting for a correction? If you can answer that question, you're already a step ahead of most. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment below. What stage of the market is your favorite stock in right now? As always, stay smart, stay patient, and let the market take you to new heights. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.